All right. Hello again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that are all here despite the internet not liking us anymore.
And
Or
who
at
are
least, and
anxiously awaiting playing with you again.
Yes. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've been able to stream. If anyone watches my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/TrainerJody. I'm a daily vlogger, and on a fairly regular basis, I have just been sick as a freaking dog. Absolutely worst I've felt in a long time. Part of it, I'm hoping, is I have really bad sleep apnea, and I've had a CPAP for like 6 years now, and apparently the lifespan of a CPAP machine is about 6 years. And so, uh, uh, I'm hoping that my CPAP machine was just kind of dying. So I got my brand new CPAP machine. It's pretty. It's white now for some odd reason. My other one was like gray, and this one's like, it looks like an iPod got pregnant or something. Like, it's just weird.
I don't want to know how that happened.
Some people really like their iPods.
There's
Yeah.
probably art of that.
I was about to say, it's not like iPods are being used for anything else anymore. Nobody uses an iPod. But anyway, yeah, so I've got my new CPAP.
Nano.
I'm hoping that means that I get to actually sleep tonight, which would be very, very nice.
Yes.
And that I won't wake up. Another thing that's really, really weird. Apparently, if you suffocate yourself at night due to your body hating you, you can wake up extremely nauseated. So yeah, I'd wake up effectively hungover. Like, I'd be lightheaded. I'd have a pounding headache, and I'd be really, really sick to my stomach every morning. And I haven't drank in, like, I think it's been almost a decade now. I haven't had alcohol in like a decade. And the one time I drank enough to actually have a hangover was my 21st birthday, which we're not going to talk about how long ago that was. So anyway, yeah. Announcements. There's a new Power Rangers book that, due to the fact that water heaters cost money, I have not been able to pick up. But it's called Beneath the Helmet. It's a new Power Rangers RPG book. It's called Beneath the Helmet, and it's basically a source book about how to deal with all the non-Power Rangers stuff that your Rangers will inevitably have to deal with, like day jobs and, teachers and principal. Like, of all the Power Rangers books that I've gotten excited about, I did not predict that this one I would be just so excited to read.
Well, I was always thinking about the Power Rangers. There was every so often they'd go like, "How do you balance your real life with being a Power Ranger?"
Oh yeah, especially the ones that they're like school based. Like, they've moved a lot away from it more recently, but the old ones where like it'd be like, "Well, Tommy, you've got a test to do." He's like, "Yeah, but Rita keeps attacking, and I've got to go to the. Oh, but you're going to fail the test now. Yeah, but who cares about a test? It's the world's ending." So, I always found that really interesting. That, like,
Sooner or later, your school system, let alone your city, is going to have stuff in place for when a giant monster attacks.
Yeah, I think that's
Especially
what
in
the
that
leader
universe.
I think that's what the leader series tried to do.
or do you think like the Rangers come in like just people that live in Angel Grove would come into school one day and just go, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. There was a monster attack on the way to school today, or what,
Yeah.
I didn't get my homework done because half of my house doesn't exist anymore. However, I've got a great picture of like the left toe of the Dragon Zord, so
I have this
anyway.
picture of this giant pig head with arms coming out of its mouth, wearing a gladiator helmet.
No, yeah, like a giant pizza oven or something.
Well, that was an original character. That was an original monster in the old
Oh yeah,
series.
Pudgy
He looked
Pig.
like a mad ball.
Yeah, his name was Pudgy Pig, and the way that they beat him is in the American version. They said that they were putting like peppers or something on it because he couldn't handle spicy food. However, the actual Japanese footage has them putting a radish on it.
Yeah.
That
And-
fits.
Because radishes are spicy, but we don't really eat them. We don't really consider them spicy in the U.S. because
America.
they're just not used that way.
Well, it's
in our
different more.
cooking.
It's more on the mustard side of things as opposed to like
Yeah.
hot sauce.
Yeah, like wasabi.
But yeah, so they you watch them take this big hoagie roll and put this abnormally long radish in it, and then throw it at Pudgy Pig's mouth, and then you start seeing all this smoke coming out, and that was a good episode.
What was the source series for that again? Zoo Ranger?
Juranger.
Yes.
Juranger.
Yeah.
We really, other than like Ron Wasserman made some great theme songs, don't get me wrong, and there's been a couple other that have been pretty good, like the SPD theme song is really, really good, and I love both Space and Lost Galaxy were great. However, when you compare it to the Japanese theme songs, like, I mean, Abba Ranger is amazing, and Dai Ranger's pretty good, Zhu Ranger's pretty good, Kaku Ranger is remarkably good.
Yeah, I love Deca Ranger.
I'm not sure if I remember what Deca Ranger sounds like. They're all great. And it's weird because in Japan, because it's such a cultural phenomenon, we're going to play D&D, I promise. Just, I need to talk about my Power Rangers. Like, the people that write the Power Rangers theme songs here are people that you've never heard of, and they try to pretend that they've never heard of Power Rangers before. They get these no-name artists, and that's it. In Japan, they get pop stars to sing the Power Rangers theme, or the Sentai theme songs.
Yeah, the Abba Ranger song was sung by a member of J Project, and like the earlier songs were also done by a later J Project.
Like, they sing
Forget Hironobu Kageyama.
they sing them at concerts,
Yeah.
and the fans
It's
like
awesome.
request them. Like, it's really cool, guys. Anyway, music is awesome. Ron Wasserman is awesome. Yeah, I really hope for this Power Rangers reboot that they ask Ron Wasserman to come back, because they did get him to come back and score Once and Always, which was nice. It also kind of upset me. Another fun fact: Ron Wasserman wrote and performed the theme song and all the music for Power Rangers from season 1 all the way through Power Rangers in Space. However, because Saban was really big in the 90s with a lot of different things, and Ron Wasserman worked exclusively with Saban, he wrote a bunch of other theme songs for things like Sweet Valley High. He wrote that song.
God.
And he wrote the X-Men. He wrote the theme song for the X-Men cartoon. So with X-Men '97, they updated it, and it's decent. I don't think it's the most amazing arrangement I've ever heard, but it's a good arrangement. And I was really excited. I was like, maybe they brought everybody back for X-Men. Like, they have all the original voice actors, and even the ones that they recast the voices for, like, diversity and all that stuff. They took the original actors. They took the original actors and just put them in different roles. So they still had almost every single actor from the original series, except the ones that passed away, unfortunately. But they didn't bring back Ron. I was so upset because Ron's amazing, and he's a really cool dude too. Like, anyway. Anyway, uh,
Apparently they didn't try hard enough, though, not connecting with the one too fast.
uh, my brain just, it's gone. Had something I was gonna say. Oh, is there anything else that's going on in the world of Cypher System just finished another Kickstarter that I wasn't able to back that I'm really upset about. But it looks like they're going to be putting out a bunch of new really cool books over the next couple years here. Which is weird because the last Cypher System Kickstarter that I backed, I still haven't gotten all my shit from. So, it's starting to annoy me that the Cypher System just keeps kickstarting books instead of just writing them, but I guess that's kind of how things work now. Why use your own money when you can get other people to give you money for free? And it's really good marketing. But so yeah, that's going on. Trying to think. I got a notice about my Sentai Insensibility that theoretically I should be seeing a PDF the next couple months here, so that'll be really cool. Anything else really big happening in the tabletop RPG world? I don't think so. Oh, the head of something at Wizards of the Coast is out on April 26th. So they're looking for a new person to run Wizards of the Coast. Obviously, I'm on the short list for that. So I did see a bunch of really, really funny tweets on Twitter of people going, yep, I'm the new CEO, and I'm going to do this really bad idea, which still isn't as bad as some of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast has done recently. So, gotta love it. Anyway, I think that's about it. So, you guys want to play
I don't care if my internet service fails me. If I have to do this with 2 friggin' cans and a string, I'm here playing. Matt Colville, let Dale Kingsmill name your system.
Oh, yeah. Matt Colville, if you're watching this, make better life choices because there's better things you can do with your time. But if you are, let Dale Kingsmill name your system because it'll probably be awesome. I haven't heard anything about that Kickstarter in a while. But he kind of point blank at the end of the Kickstarter said, hey, by the way, you're not going to hear anything from us for a long time because we're building a brand new system. So we're going to work for a while. So, not really particularly surprising that we haven't heard back from him, but I want to hear more about him. I'm excited about it. Anyway, you guys want to play some D&D?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working on the friggin' phone.
All right.
My service provider hates me. I got everything downloaded.
Then it is time for us
Gonna
to
play, damn it.
return to Traversing the Veil. Shopping is fun. Okay, so
Yay!
due to the fact that I have been massively sick for like the past month, I legitimately can barely remember our last session. So we're all going to do kind of a group recap so that I can remember where we are and hopefully remember where I was going with this nonsense.
Okay, so there was a giant chicken restaurant that we were sent to, and we were supposed to. Did we already go in? I think we were just outside of it.
Yeah, we didn't go inside.
Yeah.
They were so full.
Oh.
Yeah, they were full, and there was a whole bunch of agents still walking around. Well, militia, not militia.
Marines.
Marines. Thank you. It started with an M.
Militia, Marines, Maritime
something
Law,
like that.
marinara sauce.
Spiky people with spiky things and delicious sauces.
Damn, I could go for a chicken parm right now.
And Arai was given a secret message via a shoe that does not fit someone of his size. What else happened? We got some information from the produce merchant. Thus ended up at the chicken restaurant. And I think we were half debating whether to go in undercover or dressed as a Marine or just waiting until it closed. If I remember correctly, that's where we left off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember why? Hey,
No,
shucks!
I threw that idea out there in a discussion about well, maybe we want to acquire that or not. That was an idea I floated out.
Okay. Do you guys remember why it was that you were going to this particular chicken shack? By the way, if anyone's
Well-
wondering why I
Oh.
came up with the town that I went to high school in, there's a butcher shop / meat market, and they have a giant rooster outside. Like, the rooster is easily 15-20 feet tall. Like, it's a really large rooster statue. And
Make your own
in
little
order to get
jokes.
to my house, you had to drive past it, and the street you had to turn on to get to my street was the first street that you saw after it. So the directions I would always give to my friends would be, just stay on Main Street until you'd see the giant cock, and then take the next right.
Well, funny that you mentioned that, because not too far from my house, there is someone who has in their backyard, which we can see from like the side street that we take to get to my house. They have a giant, like 2-story foot ironwork black rooster.
Uh-huh.
And so my grandmother used to give directions, turn left at the big black cock.
I love it. Yeah, no, so this is just a little bit of my life that makes it into a story. It's one of my favorite little tropes. Like, every so often they'll be like, oh yeah, go to the Rooster and Orbs
And you know what I mean?
What was
tavern.
that one? The longest journey. It was the rooster and the cat. Well, how was that?
Oh yeah, it was
Remember
like
he-
Rooster
he
and Cat
had-
or something.
he-
It was like Cock and Pussy or something. It was
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say
amazing
that,
stuff.
that
But
was-
no,
that was
like
the
you could
innuendo, yeah.
totally say.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I remember that we were trying to look for jobs to earn money.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Oh, but and my summation for this. Shopping list, Thomas and Queen Supplies. Exelos was mostly dead by the docks because he got more active as we got closer, closer away from the docks. The story that apparently the Tempest Sovereignty is putting out was it was a toxic spill.
Yeah.
And that was and that's the reason why they're putting out humanitarian aid. The Sleeping Rooster was directed for work. Definitely don't go there after 6. Wink.
Yeah.
Arai wandered off. Cobbler, paper in shoes, tongue. Took paper cross streets with time 2 a.m. Sleeping Rooster, mostly Marines, per Jody at 112%. Filled with Marines.
yes, there we go.
Reggie spotted markings and thieves' cant at the location. Places defense, anonymous backed. I'm sorry, it was anonymity backed
Anonymity.
location.
Yep.
Black market and this area in general was on Arai's directions.
All right. So,
Yeah.
returning us to let's go to. Do I not have the? We can use this. All right. So, returning us. Did you guys? Because when you arrived at the chicken place, you still had a few hours before.
Called the Sleeping Rooster.
Yeah, the Sleeping Rooster.
Aw.
You guys still had a few hours before you were going to be able to get your jobs or anything like that. Did you guys just want to kind of chill? Did you want to do something else in this city while you waited? What do we think?
Hmm.
I don't have any thoughts myself. Anyone else? Because we got
Not
we had
particularly.
we had the supplies and stuff taken care of.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, to kind of get us back into this, so you guys kind of mill around the town, browse through the kind of open air markets you were in before, kind of scout as much of the town as you can, and again see kind of similar things where there are certain parts of the city that have activity, and then as soon as you get maybe a block or two away from them, it's a ghost town. And so you start mapping out these kind of hot spots around this city. And finally, you're able to come back. You can see the restaurant itself has these kind of like blinds style things that they're kind of rolling down to close the openings that lead out to this city itself. And as you can see them, basically they're cloth with like big kind of wooden planks in regular intervals to give them a little bit of structure. And so they're kind of rolling those down. You can see the last of the Marines have left. And you can still see some little lights on inside. But it seems like it has closed down at this point. So what would you all like to do?
I would actually kind of want to go shopping for components because I have a spell that has consumable material components.
Okay, we can say that you guys did that because at this point all the other shops would be closed as well. So we can say in that the few hours that you guys were just killing time, you would have been able to get those components without too much difficulty, unless it was something like you didn't need like diamonds or something for it, did you?
No, I don't. Just some like holy water.
Yeah, you could find them without too much difficulty. So you got those. Again, the restaurant itself has kind of closed the gates effectively, but you can see that there's still some kind of interactions happening inside, and there's still lights and stuff coming out from it. So, what do you all want to do?
Now, this is kind of like, since I know Devin's not here, but he did spot the thieves' cants and everything that was around here. Did he happen to spot any thieves' cants indicating go here looking for work?
So
under this corner, this wall, this something or other.
Written Thieves' Cant is not really instructional. It's more of like symbols that indicate particular ideas.
Yeah.
So there is some notifications into the Thieves' Cant that I have just completely lost what his name is. What's his character name? Reggie, there we go. That Reggie was able to put out that basically said there was a fence here, and that effectively that people looking for less than legal work could find work here. So those symbols were there, or those indications were there.
Yeah.
There's no explanations or parking in
But, like,
back
it's
or
like-
anything like that. There's nothing to indicate how.
Parking him back.
So yeah, the
Thieves'
Thieves'
Cant,
Cant
poker
is
in
just
front,
really
liquor in the
not-
back.
Yeah, Thieves Can't. The written version of it just really isn't designed to do that. It's more just these little kind of signs or symbols that will indicate
Yeah.
a very particular idea. So, yes, as far as Reggie's aware, there's
Well, it's like, like I didn't know there's like necessarily like a marker saying like the Thieves Camp version of an arrow pointing at this
No.
door or something like that. Okay.
despite the fact that Thieves Can't again is limited to it's a
Yeah.
language that is limited to rogues, they still are relatively careful about how much information, and so something like arrows and things like that,
Well, I know, but the
even in
Thieves
a
Can't
different
equivalent, I mean.
language,
Yeah.
even in a different language, you'd be giving a little bit too much away.
Like, look, we were in one world where the coded language was pasta. Okay.
Pasta marinara. I'm sensing a theme.
What can I say? I like pasta. Pasta, like when Marco Polo came back with pasta from the East, like it changed Europe.
I thought you were gonna say it changed my life. All right.
No, like literally, like everyone thinks of pasta, they think of Italian, but Marco Polo brought it back on. I can't remember what the big trade route that went from Europe to Asia is called off the top of my head right now, but it was life changing, and it like spices was another thing. Like Europe didn't understand what spices were other than salt, and salt wasn't a spice; salt was a preservative. So yeah, they were blown away, and they went, "Wait, you can make food taste good? What sorcery is this?"
And then they burned him at the stake.
You know,
See, we put raisins in our potato salad.
They burned him with the stake.
I don't know. Maybe they just burnt his
Extra
steaks,
well done. Good thing.
and it's still really tragic. Anyway, so what do you guys want to do?
Oh, sorry. Play D&D.
Okay. So Arai takes out some polyhedral dice and
Attack the darkness.
From nowhere.
I
Alright,
cast
siren.
magic missile. There's nothing there at the darkness.
Well, hopefully, I would presume we would head to the back of the
Okay.
place, obviously out of eye shot of any passing by Marines that may wander by on perhaps patrol or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. So as you guys start to
Well, it's just like one of those little side pickup windows. Maybe just like knock on that.
as you go through the drive-through,
Go order.
I'm here to pick up my order from 5 hours ago. Why are my fries soggy?
We're from the
excuse
ship
me, I'm
Grubhub.
not paying for this. My fries are cold. The kitchen closed
5
an
hours.
hour ago. Be happy you
I-
have fries.
I would like to speak to your manager anyway.
The
Well,
ultimate.
I am the manager and I have left for the day.
All right. So as you guys are kind of walking behind, Owie,
Yes.
why don't you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh God.
Oh,
Done.
Fuck you.
It's always nice for one of my players
Oh.
just.
Actually, yeah, let's see. I think I have something that can change that.
we're not normally this hostile to the DM, so really,
Yeah. I had to look because one, that was so quick. Two, that was owie. I thought it was
Yeah.
my shirt. So it's like,
I have Indomitable. You can re-roll a saving throw that you fail, and you must use the new roll. I'm gonna use that.
Okay. Well, due to the fact that it requires you to fail first, what did you roll?
Natural one.
Natural. Oh,
And
then yes, you
minus-
most definitely failed.
And the new roll wasn't much better. It was a natural 2, so 6.
6. Okay. So as you guys are as nonchalantly as possible kind of going behind the building, you're trying to just find an alternate entrance. As you come around a corner, you suddenly hear this kind of strange kind of sloshing sound. And before Aoi, before you can even react, you suddenly get hit in the face with this kind of deluge of dirty dishwasher that has just been thrown into the back alley.
Oh.
The rest of you kind of get a little bit of splash off of it, but now Aoi is just drenched in this foul-smelling and kind of thick, brackish dishwater. And
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's like the fried chicken leaves and stuff. It's like got scraped off.
Does that like scrape off the paint Reggie used on me?
It wouldn't be paint, it would be makeup. And Reggie would have been smart enough to give you waterproof makeup.
Oh, thank God.
Reggie's got the good stuff.
Yay.
You know, you don't have to help Jody.
He didn't remember you were painted.
So, yeah, as you guys see there, you can see you're assuming dishwasher, kind of standing there looking at you and just kind of scoffs and goes back into the kitchen, possibly to pick up another bucket. You're not sure. As you guys look, Aoi, you can see kind of little flecks of chicken and things that are now kind of cutting your armor, and you smell this kind of damp, oily scent on you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Yeah, you go.
gonna...
Yeah, you go, kid. Yeah, I got you. Prestidigitation.
Yeah, thank you.
So the scent is good.
Making sure not to hit her face.
Just in case, so when we get back, I'll probably take a shower.
So what are you guys doing? The alley itself back here, you can see there is a drain that leads to the sewer system here. And the alley itself does not smell pleasant in any way, shape, or form. Like, you're relatively certain that they probably did the equivalent of cleaning their grease trap recently. And it's just very, very kind of rank. And there's garbage back here and everything. It's just a very unpleasant place to be.
Surprised it's clean. We should definitely eat here.
So, what do you all want to do?
Well, the place is up. Like now, just to be clear, the dishwasher that opened up, that is to the chicken place. That is the sleeping rooster, right?
100%, yes. There's there's an open door that you can, if you look into it, you can kind of see into the back of the place. The restaurant itself is not a massive building. Like, half the building is basically taken up by the kitchen and everything, and the other half is, they don't even really have that much kind of seating for people to eat. They kind of take over part of the street for people to be able to eat there. So it's not like it's a really massive place. And if you decide to look into the restaurant itself, you can see people going. Because you have a little bit more warning this time, you see that dishwasher coming back with a large bucket, and all of you kind of move out of the way as, yet again, another kind of deluge of water comes out, splashes onto the ground, this one having an even kind of stronger scent to it. You can watch the kind of congealed fat and everything slowly make its way to the drain behind. And
Grease traps.
again, the dishwasher kind of looks at you guys and gives you kind of a snide look and just moves back in.
So do we, would the job postings just be on the walls, or do we need like a password in order to see them.
I think we're supposed to be here after the place closes, not while it's still
But
open.
what
Well, then
time
they
is
have
it now?
closed, but I guess like technically, I'm presuming it's just working staff that are here, right, Jody?
Yeah, I mean,
The place has closed up.
yeah, the place itself is closed, but
There
as
are
anyone
still
that's worked in a
patrons.
restaurant will tell you, closing a restaurant,
Oh yeah,
you don't. The staff does not leave for minimum another half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
yeah. Close at 6. They like the majority of the staff will probably leave at 7, and then like someone else will probably leave at 8.
But
Yes.
the instructions that you guys were given were specifically show up after 6.
Yeah, so presumably we just like
Hang around.
yeah.
Right.
Wait from this.
Here in the alley near the slosh buckets, or near the where they're tossing out the water.
Alright.
Grease.
Away from that.
Probably a more private spot so the person doing his job doesn't get annoyed.
So as you guys are speaking, another person that you haven't seen before comes out with 2 kind of heaping piles of food scraps and other things that they're kind of bringing out, and you can see kind of a large area where the bones that aren't being used for stock or anything like that are, and other kind of, it's one of the other reasons why this place smells so lovely. Comes out, you can see him kind of slopping there, and he kind of turns around, and in his hand he has this kind of wooden, it's not really a blade, but it's kind of a wooden straight edge kind of looking thing. It kind of points it at you, goes, that stuff right there, that'll kill you. It's rotten, it's disgusting. If I see you guys going through it, come out here and I'll have a lot of you bait."
Hey. We're not homeless. We're not here scavenging.
And what the hell are you doing behind a restaurant? I've seen you like before. You come here, you try and pick through the bits because you can't afford to actually pay us for the work that we do. I'm telling you right now, if I see you picking through my bits, I'm going to be
Do you not
upset.
see how nice my dress is? Gosh darn it! Sorry, Soraya.
We are pretending to be
Wrong
other
game.
people.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Apparently, I'm gonna be Soraya. All right.
You have no wings!
I know.
To be fair, you
them
take
every
away the
single
wings
time.
most of the time anyway.
Every single time. Oh, you can't fly here anyway, even though you have your wings. Sorry.
It's not my fault that there aren't flying Minish, okay?
Made an exception.
Next time, your focus, your next focus is going to be has wings, will fly, and that's all you're gonna have. It's just gonna be you fly in this one too. Be like, but that's what I can do at home. Well, you do here too. Do you feel better now?
Yes, I do. Still drops a motto on his face.
All right, so
Sorry.
yeah, so he just kind of is looking at you. He's like, oh, I
We
see
were
what this is.
told we should come around this area looking for work.
Well, I've got an entire kitchen that needs scrubbing. If you'd like to do that, I might be able to give you, I don't know, some broth and bread.
not that kind of work.
Well,
Do you have friends that normally will convene in your restaurant after hours?
make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh dear God. Can I help him?
How would Howie aid in
Oh
this?
God.
Like I'm fine with you aiding. I would just
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that myself.
I got a 17, so I think I'm okay.
okay.
Okay, thanks.
So,
Because I had nothing.
Thanks for doing a good job.
Well, I had an
just
idea, but I didn't want to step
simply
on it.
attempting to help was
Yeah.
enough here. So he goes, well,
Be precocious. Be precocious.
we would obviously never allow anyone in the restaurant proper after closing. There are health code violations and things like that. So, of course, no one would ever come into the restaurant proper. And he kind of looks at you. Do you understand?
No.
Except that.
Seeing just like the big doe eyes of Arai just sitting there going, oh, you're all going to die much. You're going to get people killed.
Sorry, Chax was joking. That wasn't what Arai said or did.
Oh, no. But
Okay.
he kind of realizes that you guys just aren't quite
No,
picking up.
I didn't want to step over someone's lines. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we
So
all
he
know
kind
Imp was
of
gonna do it.
looks over and he sees that Smegwick. He sees the light bulb kind of turn in on Smegwick. He's like, "Ask your short friend over there. Maybe he'll be able to help you out." Now, if you excuse me, as I said, don't pick through my stuff. It's very dangerous over there. And he walks
We
back.
understand. Have a good night.
That was very rude of him to believe I don't understand. What was he talking about?
We
Smegwick,
don't wait here. We gotta wait somewhere else around here if we're looking for work. There's not
Okay.
the meeting
Smegwick.
place ain't here.
No,
Smegwick,
okay, I understand. Making a joke.
roll me. I guess we could call it a history check. Or insight. Yeah, history or insight, whichever you like better.
Aoi is pretty good at reading someone's.
Well, this would be knowledge that you would never in a million years know.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, you went to the academy.
This is
Okay,
Yes.
13 on the die.
Smeg-
History 19.
Okay, so, as you kind of piece together what he said, and you think about some of these seedier places that you were kind of required to go, being a part of the military and then kind of a soldier of fortune after that, you start understanding that one of the important aspects of an area where clandestine happenings go on is that it needs to be a place where people that aren't supposed to be there aren't going to willingly go there. So they'll be out of the way, or there'll be other things that kind of discourage people to poke around where they're not wanted. Like large piles of refuse that smell extremely bad.
Thus, dangerous things.
We going underground?
And the fact that he kept making reference, even after he realized what you guys were there for, he kept making reference to that large pile of refuse, gives you an idea that it's probably masking something. You don't know what it could be. Trapdoor, it could be a million different things, but you think probably where you need to look is in that rough area.
Okay.
He's saying, he made it a point of saying, don't pick through that stuff. So
Yeah, there's dangerous things
after
there.
realizing,
We're
Yeah.
dangerous things.
Uh,
Thus, we're there.
Anyway, shall we?
So whoever would like to, go ahead and make me investigation checks.
Okay.
See if you can
I can
find
do
what you're
that.
looking for.
And have Spitwood help me. Nice. 18 on the die, plus 6. My brain is fried. 24.
Okay. Anyone higher than a 24?
Yep.
No.
Okay. So, as you guys start kind of looking around, the closer you get to this pile of refuse, the worse it smells. Like, it is, at this point, it is impressive how bad it smells. Like,
Yeah, after we get a certain distance, I was gonna like step back.
if you've never had the pleasure of smelling rancid oil, it is something that you will never forget. And this just, the whole thing is just, it's really just,
It also sticks to you like no one's business.
Delightful.
yeah, it gets in your clothes and it doesn't go away. So as you guys are getting closer and closer, you realizing like your vision is starting to swim a little bit. Your eyes are starting to water. And as you get there, you suddenly start to realize that unless you get really, really close, you can't actually see that there's actually 2 piles of refuse there. From even more than like 3 or 4 feet away, just looks like one massive pile of gluck. But as you get closer, you can see that there's actually 2 separate piles, and there is a space between them that is just wide enough for a person to kind of move between them without touching either of them if you're very careful. And you can see what looks like the ground kind of dropping off that might indicate a staircase or even just like a flat drop in that same general area. So with that knowledge, what would you like to do?
We go in.
Okay. So as you guys get closer and closer and closer, you eventually get in between them, and as soon as you start walking down the stairs, the scent is gone. And as you go deeper and deeper, you notice that there is a staircase, and it goes to kind of a sub-level beneath the restaurant. And it is mostly pitch black as you guys are going down. However, with Smegwick leading, Smegwick, you have dark vision, right? Yep. So Smegwick leading, it's not particularly difficult for you guys to eventually navigate. And suddenly, Smegwick, you come to what at first seems like a dead end, but you realize it's just a very thick, heavy cloth, heavy weighted cloth that is in front of you. And as you kind of push through it, suddenly there is light, and you can see that there are various tables. It almost looks kind of like a speakeasy down here. There is kind of a bar, but you don't see any spirits or anything behind it. You do see a number of, for lack of a better term, kind of like tokens and chips and things like that behind the bar in various places. You can see the wall itself has a number of kind of cubby holes kind of all over it. Like it almost looks like a mail sorting room. And in different ones you can see various versions of these different kind of tokens and chips and other things like that stacked in these various boxes, along with pieces of paper and other things like that. The boxes themselves seem to have kind of a stone above them that as you're sitting there, you watch as a couple of the people that are behind this bar will kind of rub their hand over it, and the stone will change from blue to green to red and to white, depending on how often they kind of rub this stone. And they seem to indicate each one of these boxes. And then again, you can see like there's some booths, there's some tables, all of them you notice like the sound level in here is relatively constant, but it doesn't feel like the sound is coming from the patrons themselves. It's almost as if there's this ambient sound all around. So as you guys are just standing there, you suddenly feel something behind you, and someone walks through the curtain and walks through you guys, without stopping, without even really acknowledging you. They just kind of blow past you, and they seem to go directly for a booth in the back where you can see someone else is there. And if you all want to roll perception checks for me real quick.
Okay. Okay, that's not awful. 11.
11, okay.
11.
11, cool.
14.
Well, Imp fails because he was supposed to get another 11. Between the three of you, one thing you notice is it's hardwood floors here. As he's walking, even with this kind of like chatter and sound that you guys can hear, as soon as he gets close enough to the booth, you can't hear his footsteps anymore. And Imp, you would probably be familiar. Yeah, especially for, since you were a scout. You would recognize the effects of a pass without a trace spell. Basically, having the ability to kind of mask a lot of different things. This appears to be a strange kind of version of it, because Pass Without a Trace, it's a 40-foot diameter sphere, which could take up the majority of this room. It seems that they've somehow created a version of the spell that is basically limited to just the area around that particular booth. And as you kind of look around, you can see that each one of the tables and each one of the booths seems to have a similar enchantment on it, where as soon as you sit down there, it is significantly more difficult for someone not sitting in the booth to hear anything that's going on. And as you look over, you even have a hard time focusing your eyes. Like you can, if you try to like lip read or something, the lips and you can't really see what they're saying or anything like that.
But you some gold. This place has got some protection from divination too.
So what do y'all want to do?
Good question.
Or we're either going to go find our own booth, or we're going to go talk to the barkeep.
Well, we're
Probably
new in town.
find a
Might as well.
booth.
Well, we're new in town. If we go to the booth, they're probably going to think that we know what we're doing. But barkeeps also might be for introductions to newbies who
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Pros and cons to each, but if we go to a booth, we might get approached.
But that person might think we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm all about fake it till you make it. But in this case, we don't want to give anyone the wrong impression, especially this place.
Yeah.
To the bar?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Okay. So as you all get up there,
Okay, okay, just sarsaparilla.
there's a total of 3 people kind of working there, and again, they seem to be going back to a particular book, kind of reading through it, and then they'll go and do things, and they all seem to be coming back to this very large book. And they'll flip through pages, but the weird thing about it is they keep going back to the same page over and over and over again, or the same few pages, and then they go, but each time they read the same passage, they seem to do something different. And as you guys all come up to the bar, none of them approach you. What would you like to do?
Excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Did you say something, Howard?
I asked. It's getting.
As you're doing that, you see one of the people sitting there just kind of looks at you. They kind of look at the rest of each other. And you can see one of them seems to have like something caught in his throat or something. You see him start, and then they just keep on going.
They
So we check a book or we sit down?
Yeah, check a look.
The book itself is on a back counter, so you can't actually get to it unless you go behind the counter itself.
No, we're not going behind the counter.
Oh no.
I guess we're taking.
So
a
we
seat
go to a
then.
table.
Okay. If you guys want to kind of sit back and watch what other people do, you can do that as well.
That's true.
We just need perception checks.
Okay. Let's do that then.
Yeah.
So vent to 2.
Okay.
9.
All right.
That's 20.
All right.
Hey.
Megvik sees the world.
So between the two of you and
That would help.
Reggie, who's also
Nice.
observing things,
Still spit would helped.
Oh,
you guys, at first, it seems there seems to be no discernible pattern to the point where it starts to become frustrating to you. Like you will see some people that walk up to the bar area and they are immediately greeted, and sometimes they'll be given a stack of what looks like poker chips. Other times they will be given this kind of like wooden, kind of almost looking key card kind of thing with different parts of it kind of punched out. Other times they will just come up and one of the people will immediately come around, have a conversation with them, turn around, and then that person will just walk out. Some people will walk over to a booth. Some people will walk to a table. Some people will walk to a booth, sit in the booth for a couple of seconds, get out of the booth, go to a table, sit in that couple of seconds, and then leave. Like it seems completely random, yet every single person that comes in doesn't like wander around, doesn't, seem to be guessing themselves. They go directly to where they're supposed to be, and then they do what they're supposed to do, and then they leave. And as you're sitting there trying to figure it out, you guys suddenly start looking down at Reggie, and you see Reggie seems to have clocked something. And so you watch as Reggie goes over the bar. You watch as he goes over and he starts having a conversation about farming practices in Camelot. Particularly talking about the irrigation systems and how horrible they are. Like the most dry, boring thing that you've ever seen in your life. And then suddenly he gets one of those strange kind of wooden card looking things, almost like a punch card kind of thing, given to him. And then Reggie, as he's walking past you, without looking at you and doing his absolute very best to make it look like he's not saying anything to you, simply goes, "Follow me."
Oh.
And he walks over to a booth where he places the key card mostly hidden under his hand, but with the very edge sticking out. And he just kind of sits there and kind of gestures with his eyes for you guys to sit down as well.
where I sit down.
So as you all sit down, the kind of noise outside deadens intensely. And Reggie's still kind of talking out of the side of his mouth, so it doesn't look like he's really talking to you guys. Effectively explains that the particular card that he has gotten is an indication of the skills that you guys are willing to offer. And the way that things work is if you are offering your services, you get one of these punch cards. If you are offering a job that is in need of someone's services, you get a various number of chips that you will put on the table, and each one has a different meaning. So the different collection of them is basically kind of describing what kind of job it's going to be. The particular punch card that you guys have indicates that you guys are available for second story work and wet work, which is effectively thievery and assassination.
Like I kind of like mumble under the thing, like, "What the fuck, Bryce? You're not doing that shit again." Look at that.
Reggie mentioned that these were the two most likely to attract interest
No
because
shit.
they're the most common jobs. And he also kind of turns to you guys and goes, "We can do that. Like, we all know that we can do that, right?"
Yeah, Bryce, they should. I wasn't looking to make a friggin' habit out of it.
Well,
Just because we can doesn't mean that we
it's
should.
more about who you know than what you know. So,
I was actually surprised we weren't doing it more often with how I first encountered you, so you're very tame in comparison.
Do we really want to try and make another enemy out of the underworld?
Sure.
The answer is no, Arai.
Why? We already have enemies in the biggest underworld corporations.
Preferably, we could use allies more than that. We're trying to keep that to the minimal. We're planning on pissing a lot more people off later.
and again, Reggie kind of informs you guys, well, in order to get allies in a place like this, you first have to kind of show them that you're willing to do some stuff that other people aren't. So,
Well, hopefully, we're not going to be here long enough to do something like that. We're going to have to wait and see.
and seemingly out of nowhere, you suddenly notice that there's another presence, and you hear the sound of chips being laid down on the table. And suddenly you can see there is a woman sitting at the table with you, which I believe some of you might somewhat recognize. However, Arai, you instantly recognize
Oh,
this
yay.
woman.
Yay.
Since
So-
we did not end up on great, we left on questionable terms. Smigwick will.
Oh
He's
no!
going to like for a split second go. "Ah!"
Ismail?
And you suddenly feel a hand on your thigh, as you hear, almost as if she's whispering it in your ear, that dress is doing amazing things.
Thank you. I offered before.
Well, there's a time and a place. And unfortunately for all of us, darling, this is neither. I do find it rather odd that I just happen to be here and I discover you lot.
And recognize this.
Oh, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Spitwit in Tressum form.
Well, perhaps I should explain. You stick out like a sore thumb to anyone that knows what to look for. And I know most of you relatively well. One of you I know very well. So you're not very difficult to find. Also, that little tirade when you first came in, well, let's just say you didn't make many friends. Had I not sat down here, your next visitor might have been significantly less pleasant. luckily enough for you, let's call them mutual acquaintances, have not decided to put any sort of a price on any of your heads. Otherwise, this would be the very last place you would want to find yourself.
So does that mean they came to their senses? They realized we weren't up to anything?
Absolutely not. It's just not worth paying anyone to kill you. We assume that you would get yourself killed faster than we could.
So they're still blaming us.
They're not wrong. We have tried.
We didn't do the thing they think we did.
Well, currently you have made some very, very expensive enemies, and, well, if things go the way that I would like them to go, and she kind of nuzzles up closer to Arai, this might be a nice way to maybe mend some bridges. And she
Right,
lays
snuggle right
out
back.
a collection of chips on the table. And when Reggie sees them, you watch as Reggie's face just kind of drops. So, are you interested?
Provided we have a say in the matter, and I mean an actual say. Let's be real about this.
Oh, you always have a say. You are currently not under any contract. So
You know what I mean. We say like, oh, you can totally say no. Then your ship might blow up. You know what we mean.
no, this is not an offer that I would recommend against refusing. This is technically a rather menial job. One that I could get quite literally anyone in here to do for me. However, and again she kind of nuzzles up against her eye, I thought it might be nice to use a familiar face and other parts.
Arai kind of like nuzzles back and kind of pats her. I do trust her. For the most part.
And she kind of
You know that doesn't help the situation, right?
she kind of leans her head down and kind of goes like cheek to cheek with you, where it's getting really close to becoming a bit more than a conversation. And as she gets close, you can like smell her perfume, and she reaches it. She gets really close to your ear and goes, "Darling, you most definitely need to become a better judge of character. It's eventually going to get you into a very nasty place. But in this particular instance, she is correct. You can trust me. However, the longer we talk, the more I'm starting to realize you all have no idea what I've just requested of you."
Correct.
And Reggie kind of go like, you see it kind of dawning on Reggie's face. "Well, I can't stay around here for too much longer, but it seems that your friend here has the right idea. I'll be back in 10 minutes. If you're still here in this booth, I will assume that means if you've taken the job, and I will give you the things necessary to complete it. If you're gone, and she kind of slides her hand around the small of your back and to your hip on the other side and kind of draws you in very close. Well, then I guess we'll have to meet again some other time. And she plants a quick kind of peck on your cheek, and then she stands up and walks away.
That entire time, I was expecting her to pull out a stiletto and for you to have one less kidney.
No, we had too much fun for that.
You think.
Oh no.
This
I know.
this entire time, Ellie's had like a 50-yard stare in sheer panic.
So you guys can see, like, some of the blood has drained from Reggie's face, and he kind of turns to all of you and goes, "Okay,
Sorry, just for clarification, was it a chip or multiple chips?
multiple chips,
Multiple
in
chips.
various colors." Reggie goes, "Okay, I don't have the time to explain the process here. I'm just going to tell you what we've been asked to do. There is a rather important political figure that's going to be showing up here in the next day. And according to these chips, he needs to not leave here."
Any other questions?
You cut out really,
Yeah,
really
I didn't
badly
hear
there.
any
Can
of
you say
that.
again?
Right. Why do we keep getting practice asking questions?
Sorry, you're cutting out again. Can
I
you
think
try
your
lowering
voice
your
is- I think
pitch
the- I
just
think-
a little bit? It's your
Yeah,
pitch.
I think the noise gate is your enemy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we keep getting asked to assassinate politicians?
Get much better, thank you.
Well,
I've never assassinated a politician before.
Reggie goes, "Well, see, this particular job, they don't need to die. They just need to not leave on the ship they came on. Now, dying is not off the table in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's what this chip means. However, this chip here means we can also kidnap them. We can ransom them if we'd like to. But they simply have to not be on the ship. If I had to take a guess, there's probably something coming up where they are going to be a deciding vote, or they're going to be doing something important and time sensitive, and our job is going to be to ensure that they don't make the meeting they're supposed to be at."
Okay.
I know a
We know
great
what
way to
type of
lose track
meeting.
of time.
I know we don't know specifically the meeting, but I don't suppose we know the type of meeting.
No, see, that's the whole thing with these this system is it just kind of gives you an idea of what the job will entail, but any specifics won't be given until the job is accepted. And it also leaves room for plausible deniability and all these other things. It really is a nice system.
So 2 days time.
Yes. And due to the fact that this is a very, very shiny and sparkly chip, more likely than not, we're going to have to deal with someone that has more than enough money to have very good security.
I mean, we can. I'm sure we can. Yeah, Allie is like, guy. trying to process like what they should do.
Well, if it helps at all, the payment for this is 2,000 platinum.
Now, guys,
It's a pretty hefty job. That's putting us.
honestly, I don't think we have any other choice.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The problem is, have versus capable. We were lucky to pull off the one we did. The problem is, the smart. Okay, look, the smart decision would be to turn them down. But doing the smart thing right now actually is going to give us a bigger headache.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this could,
Especially considering what
Yeah.
we need to do.
yeah, I mean, this could get
we
these
kind of-
guys off our backs at least.
Actually, I'm kind of hoping we can get them on our side considering what we're planning to do next.
Mm.
Well,
So
I
we
hate
accept.
to be the bearer of bad news, but she's due back in a few minutes here. So if we intend to take
for
this
goodness,
job,
yeah.
we better.
So we accept.
Well, then sit back, relax, and let's wait for your girlfriend to come back.
Oh, she's not my girlfriend.
That's what they all say.
No, we're not committed. We're just friends.
Yeah, well, I think your friend's getting ready to fuck all of us.
I mean, she's very good at that.
So as you guys are saying
That's
that again, almost as if she simply appears there, suddenly Ismail is sitting next to Arai, and she somehow has found a way to intertwine her fingers with yours. Well, it seems that we have an accord. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, here's the information that I can give you. 2 days' time at this particular dock, a man will arrive. He will be staying in this particular room in this particular inn, and she kind of lays it out. She gives you the inn. She tells you that he will have 12 armed guards with him, including 2 blade singers, and they will dock at this particular dock. They will go directly to the hotel, and then from the hotel they're having a meeting there that doesn't matter, and then the very next day at 5 in the morning they will leave, get on their ship, and go to the meeting that actually does matter. And your job is to ensure that they don't make it to their second meeting, however you decide to do that. If
Several different ways.
And if there is a need to dispose of a body, there's a drop-off point that she indicates, where if you put the body there, it will disappear. And then she kind of turns towards Arai. So lovely to be working together again, isn't it, darling?
It is. Just like old times.
And then she kind of reaches behind the back of your head and just kind of brings you in for a kind of very passionate but very quick kiss, and then again she's gone.
She's so good at what she does.
I'm just amazed you have not woken up after being, submerged in a tub of ice.
Oh, that's happened.
Is this what my friends mean by when they say get a room?
Sometimes, but other times it's more enjoyable to have watchers.
All right, all right. You don't need to educate the kid on that.
She asked.
Sergi kind of tells you guys, well, since we have a job now, if we sit here any longer, we're going to be offered another job. And wasting people's time in general is not a great idea. Wasting these people's time is a very bad idea.
Okay, let's
we
Yeah,
go.
were you supposed to like rub a stone or something and say,
No, I'll go turn in our card and then we all walk away.
okay,
Don't look around. Walk directly towards the door.
don't
make eye
I was
contact
gonna do
with
that
him.
anyway. Now you made me so conscious. No. Walk casual now.
And he
Asshole.
goes off to replace, or he puts the card on the table, and you notice that kind of a note is passed to him, and then he walks out.
And we are following.
Okay, so as you guys come
Yeah.
out,
Walking out before.
as you guys come out, you are again accosted with the overwhelming stench of the alley. And you watch as Reggie just kind of beelines it for getting out of the alley, and it looks like he's heading towards the dry dock.
President station, lemon pledge, lemon pledge, lemon pledge.
What time of day is it? No?
At this point, because of how long it took for you guys to get a job, you're looking at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
We want to get back to the ship. There's not, I mean, unless there's some other fucked up place we all want to go right now in the dead of night and probably.
There is the other meeting that I was given. Information for the meeting that I was given. That was at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Oh.
If we wanted to find out other happenings,
Mm,
since it doesn't seem related.
darn it.
If he was a thief, I would be very impressed. He was not a very good actor.
So what do you guys want to do? You guys have more than enough time to head back to the dry dock. Well, with how far the
We
dry dock
don't
is
have
away,
enough time.
you'd be able to
Yeah.
get there, make a change of clothes, whatever you want, and then you'd have to leave as soon as you got there to be able to get to the 2 a.m. meeting on time.
Yeah, and we won't be able to get like a long rest.
No.
Well, I mean, we haven't really done much of anything.
Yeah,
We could
true.
take a-
And the only spells you guys have been casted is a copious amount of prestidigitation.
Yeah, true.
Thank goodness.
Mm.
So, do you guys want to go to the meeting? Do you want to skip it? What are you thinking?
At the very least, we probably will. Like, do you guys want to go drop back in the ship?
Yeah.
Give some of the crew the heads up about what's going on, because we may have to get out of Dodge real quick.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would be less conspicuous to be walking around just for hours. Next 4 hours,
Yeah.
5 hours.
Okay. So you go back. Crexney has the ship completely into the dry dock at this point. You can see she's already starting to affix repairs. Every so often you'll see Ogon kind of come over to her, and Crexney will be like, no, not that one, this one. And then you watch as Ogon kind of goes over, and then like Ogon will bring like a wrench or something and just kind of place it at her feet. And then you watch her just pick it up and just throw it, and watch Ogon run for it.
I'm playing fetch.
Cute. Not my good one. Get the crappy one.
So yeah, Crexney mentions when you say, "Hey, we may need to get out of Dodge pretty quick." She's like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Of
Yeah.
course.
We're full on dry dock to get this ship back into the Vale. Will take me bare minimum will take me 4 to 6 hours to close up all the work that I've done, and that would mean I wouldn't have enough time to finish fixing everything that has been broken recently.
No, that's fine because we have like 2 days.
Oh, well, in that case, I might be. I still need a week to work on this. So if you
We
guys,
might not have a week.
well, the more warning you give me before you need this back in the Vale, the more likely it will be that that will happen.
Warning. Maybe 2 days.
You kidding me?
Warning.
That is not helping.
You just watch her just.
It
just
is
this
helping because at least
big
she
line
has
of
a
grease on her
timeline
head.
versus we just show up and we're like, oh no, we have to leave now or
She
in
goes,
2 minutes.
and she just like brings her hands up. She's like, "Go away, I have work."
Not before ship meeting.
I
And
have
then
this.
we're-
Give me the Cliff's notes. If you guys are going to cut my week down to a few days, I've got to work.
We're gonna get. Well, we can be here and we say that. I just want everyone on the same page.
Arai drops
want-
off the suite that he had brought. That he had brought.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Crexie.
Crexie kind of looks at it. And you can see she's trying to remain upset with all of you.
Like grabs
And then
an
you
ear.
watch as
Okay.
like a light bulb turns on and she goes, and she just looks at Ogun. And Ogun very sneakily kind of wanders over, kind of brushes up against Arai, and slowly, kind of nonchalantly reaches his paw over to the suite, slowly starts bringing it closer.
Arai slaps it. Not for you. You can't eat.
And he like looks at the big old kitty. Goes, "Purr?" He starts
Okay.
kind of headbutting you, and then with
Okay.
another paw starts dragging it over towards Crexney.
Okay. A messy kitty face is cute too.
Allie is completely in love. Her eyes are like dilated with the cuteness.
Just for context for everyone watching this, Ogun is a metal friggin' panther.
Yep.
Buddies.
Nice, more like a saber-toothed tiger, right?
Yeah, Venus actually told me what it's called.
Yes.
Like
I
the
don't
actual
remember.
name of the animal, I cannot remember it. But yeah, I think it's a precursor to a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
So it looks similar, but it's bulkier. Like saber-toothed tiger is much more kind of feline, while this has, it's a bulky little beast.
Yeah.
They have it in Ark. That's all I know.
They do have it in Ark.
Anyway, so just get everybody in. So Thomas and Reese. Leonardo's not on the ship, right? Is Leonardo on Declan's ship, or is he on our ship?
I think
think I-
Leonardo was on Declan's ship. I don't think we took. Oh wait, no, because we were a passenger ship, weren't we?
Well,
No,
one time
because we were on
had-
Declan's ship.
Well, one time we were going back and forth about we did have a bunch of passengers. I couldn't remember if and we had Leonardo did come to help us. I just keep forgetting whether or not he's actually on our ship or not.
Smilodon.
Smilodon, yeah.
Smilodon. There we go. Smilodon. Believe that's what it is. So yeah, I don't think Leonardo is with you guys. I think he's still on.
Okay. Declan's
He's
ship.
still on Declan's ship.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
basically,
I'm
we'll
pretty
just like hand wipe and just like we're giving them the rundown about the job we're expected to do.
So you have everyone here. What did you want to? Did you just want to kind of explain the job? And
Yes,
everything?
that's what I said we were doing. Like, and he gives.
Okay.
That's what Smegma gives the rundown
So now
of
everyone is
the job.
aware of it. Arai, you start realizing that it's just about time that you need to leave if you're going to make this meeting on time.
So we're going. Yes.
And now we have another clandestine meeting because maybe possibly we might have some. Maybe this is someone who can help us. I hope it's not a job because we can't do we can't do two impossible jobs in 2 days.
Or at least provide us more information on what's going on in the city. It might give us some movement information. Because not only are we fighting against or trying to work around the guards of this politician, but also all of the Marines who are milling about. Just a thought.
Oh, I'm hoping for the opportunity. I'm hoping that's what it can do for us, but we're not going to know until we go. So we're off.
Yeah.
So as you guys are kind of walking through the street, you start noticing that at night, this city, while still kind of abandoned, has a much more kind of sinister feel to it. You do see Marine patrols going around, kind of enforcing a curfew of sorts, without officially calling it a curfew. Basically, anytime they see someone out, they will stop them and question them and that. So just take a little bit of finagling to avoid the various Marine patrols. But eventually, you come to a very kind of sequestered portion of this city. If you had to take a guess, you think that you are in a residential neighborhood, because in the center of this little kind of cul-de-sac kind of thing, there is this very beautiful fountain that is in the shape of a water elemental. Like it's carved out of marble, and it looks like a water elemental that's kind of in the process of kind of emerging from the pool of the fountain below, and you can see little bits of water being kind of shot out everywhere, and it's very, very pretty. And arrive. As you could come into the area, you notice something that instantly kind of sets your ears off. Sitting at the fountain, looking away because you guys chose kind of an awkward way to get into this area, is a young gentleman that has kind of a lithe body, very kind of tall, pointed ears that are very typical of Eladrin. That is wearing the traditional hunting garb that those who explore fading ruins tend to wear.
Male or female?
Male.
Dad?
No. This one's a little bit younger, but as he notices that you're there, he kind of looks at you, and he kind of does a double take, and he goes, "Arai?" And this is, I will allow you to choose the name, because this is not a person that was named in your backstory.
Okay.
But this is someone that was kind of brought in with your under your parents' sleeve, was basically apprenticing under them, and had gone probably the last like 2 or 3 years that you were exploring with your parents. You had gotten to meet this new apprentice, and obviously it's been a year or two since you've seen him, but he just looks at you and he goes, "Alright, you're
Fabulous?
yeah. First of all, what is his character's name?"
Sylar.
Sylar.
Sylor.
So he goes, and you have friends?
Is that what surprises you?
Well, no, it's not. I thought that this was gonna be more of like a one-on-one. But I mean, I'm not sure if they.
But wait, you knew
To
I
be
was
fair,
here.
he
What are
appears
you
to know
doing
you.
here?
Oh, yeah.
How did
yeah.
you come? How did you get here?
Well, so you know how
Has it
how
escaped your
parents
attention? It's
are,
2 a.m.
Shh.
you know how your parents are like really like trusting
I'm
and
inconsequential,
very
shut up.
supportive of their son, right? I mean, that's how this all goes, right? But maybe they might have thought that you might get into trouble being on your own, and I can neither confirm nor deny that they have kept a locate objects spell attached to your spear that they gave you.
Glaive. I know
Your glaive,
Oh.
pike, whatever it is,
Pike. It is Pike. There we
Yeah.
are. Sorry.
to your
Ah.
pike.
You don't
and
friggin' know.
Oh,
have been
I-
effectively tracking your location the entire time you've been going.
Oh,
But I
I'm
mean,
not no, I'm not surprised. That sounds like them. I did used to wander off a lot.
You
so
still do.
Used to?
well, see, here's the thing. There really isn't an easy way to say this.
What happened?
They didn't leave the last vanishing ruin fast enough.
Oh.
They're gone. And we don't know where. The ruin vanished and they vanished with it.
No, no. They know better. They know. No. Do you know that that was the ruin they were actually in? Because you know how sometimes they would say they're going one place and then get distracted by another. No,
And
that's not.
He's
it's
just
been,
walking
it's-
closer and he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder.
It's.
Pariah, I
it-
was with them.
It's. But then why didn't? But it's been. And. Our eyes are starting to become like incoherent because he is so like upset and in disbelief of this, like just
Pariah,
they know you, like you, they know you were there, you're with why
there was something. It's never happened like this before. We got to the ruin. It had been there for a few hours. We weren't even planning on going to this ruin, but it appeared. And the ruin that we were going to was already, it had been there for about a week. We were expecting that it was going to be going soon anyways. And this one just appeared. And I mean, you know how this goes. I mean, they can stay there for weeks, sometimes months. And so we thought that it was just a better plan. And we were there for maybe an hour, and they found something that really shook them, and I don't know what it was, but they told everyone to get out, and the walls started becoming translucent. Like I've watched Fading Ruins leave. Like I've watched them fade. And it's a cool thing to watch. I've never been in one as it was fading. And everything was very strange, and the sky started changing, and we just ran, and we got to the very edge, and as soon as I stepped off, I kind of looked back, and there wasn't anything behind me.
what was the architecture like? What was the time?
It looked... It had carvings on it.
Everything has carvings on it. What was the stone? What was the mineral? The things that you check for before you go in.
We had this conversation back on that ship.
No!
Shush.
It was sovereignty. This wasn't a verdant empire ruin. It was sovereignty. I know what you're thinking. It's not possible. It was sovereignty. It was it was this. And he points at the fountain.
How aged?
Very. But the fountain wasn't just old, it was damaged. There were large pieces of it missing in perfectly spherical pieces. And then there was other stonework that was attached to it that looked extremely lifelike. Like they weren't always stone.
Oh. Like things that were turned to stone?
Yeah.
You've had experience.
I made a
with this.
sketch. I thought it might help, and he takes out a sketchbook. And as he kind of flips through, you notice a picture that you immediately kind of stop and go, wait a minute. And in his sketchbook is an image of Ismail. Because what? Sarah, why do you want to look at this? This was when we first got into the ruin. This was it was another statue that was right next to this carving of a strange kind of draconic thing. Why? Does that mean something?
Maybe. There's a possibility. I need to think. Can I take this?
I mean, you could, but the reason I'm here, you need to come back home. They have a business. You're the heir. Like there's a funeral, and like we.
There's no funeral. They're not dead. They're just currently missing. This hasn't happened yet. You know where that ruin is from. This hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but how do we know that this doesn't happen in 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 1,000,000 years?
You know that there's always a chance of finding a timeline.
Yeah.
You know.
The rest of the family wants to move on.
How long has this been?
It happened, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I got here as quickly as I could. I wasn't expecting to meet you here. I did everything I could to find you, and we were tracking, and this was the first place that was the place that I could get to that you were going to be. Alright, I'm sorry, but we need you. Like, I get that you have friends here, and it's really great, but This was always...
Siler, I can't. Not because I don't want to, but there is something bigger happening that can create this future that you see, that you saw in the ruin. We saw it. Sorry. Does the dragon look like the dragon that we had encountered, the Beholder dragon?
He didn't get a sketch of that particular thing, but asking questions, it seems relatively similar.
Okay, cool.
Though, as you ask more questions, the depiction that you see there is much more an idealized version of it. So, whomever would have created it would have had a positive opinion. Let's put it that way.
No. We saw this, and it is much uglier and much scarier. This is a very nice version, but it is. Have you the stone and the blasts are similar to an experience we had recently with beholders.
Yeah, based on the damage to the ruin, we assumed it must have been some kind of beholder that did it.
This dragon was releasing beholders from its body. It is now loose in the world, and it's not just going to stop in the sovereignty.
Well, then, we need to get to the Eternal Empress. We need to warn her. She can rally the armies. I mean...
Then go! I have to do as much as I can here.
The whole reason I came here was to get you a ride. Like, that's the only... Do you know what they do to Eladrin here?
Yes, I do! Yes, I do! Very much so.
Then why are you staying? I get these seem like lovely people, and I'm very happy that you have new friends, but this is important.
I want to stop this before it gets home, before it affects home. I am a small piece of this puzzle. I am a minuscule piece of this puzzle. But I am still a piece of the puzzle, and the Verdant Empire can fight without me. And I know that you came for me, but now you have this information and you have to share it. Go back, Siler.
And he grabs you by the shoulder and kind of brings you in really close. Arai! This city gets destroyed.
I know.
You can't be here when that happens.
You don't know when it happens.
But you just told me that this thing is here. How long do you think it's going to take?
I don't know. But we never know with the ruins, don't we?
Right, this
That's
isn't
the
funny.
adventure.
You are being dangerously naive here.
Smegwick is in the back going like,
To Siler or to me?
no, to Siler. He's doing that to Siler. He's like,
This is so much bigger than whatever in the heck you guys are doing here.
Trying to stop this catastrophe from occurring. It's bigger than stopping a catastrophe.
we encountered this thing. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Tell me the naivete of trying to stop it before it gets home.
I saw what this city looks like after this. Something with that much power. Your friends are fine, and I'm sure they're very powerful, but I fought a beholder before with your dad. It's an experience I never want to have again. It is terrifying.
Well, you fought one beholder. We have encountered many.
And yet you still think that this is a good idea? We could have the entirety of the Verdant Empire behind us to fight this thing. And you want to fight it on your own?
You can get the Verdant Empire behind it to fight anyway. We can get the sovereign entity. The sovereignty to fight as well. We can.
You act like we're and he is being very naive. I'm telling you right now, friend, you're acting on a lot of half information.
Listen,
We've seen
I'm
shit.
certain that you think very highly of yourself, but I am talking to my friend here. So if you want to just stay out of
minor
this
illusion.
for now.
Minor illusion. He shows the beholder. Minor illusion. He shows the beholder dragon. Shows the beholders. We've encountered this fucker. We were face to face with him practically. We've also seen what happens when he brought down a fucking island.
We did talk to him too.
We encountered him. We had a fucking convo. We dealt with him. We actually might. I don't see a coincidence in this. You might.
Arai,
We're aware. We get it.
the war is not going well. The Verdant Empire's losing. We are surrounded by the four elemental kingdoms. The fire border has shifted over 100 miles into Verdant territory. The Earth border, 200 miles. The sovereignty has been able to get troops close enough to the capital
Who knows of this other than you?
your family, the rest of, most of the route explorers have heard about it at this point.
So you're speaking of gathering Verdant troops to fight this dragon when our Verdant troops are losing to other nations. Instead of fighting, we need to get together. Like, it's not going to benefit anyone if I go back right now.
Yeah, but it's gonna benefit us.
Yes, well, there is more than us. And listen to this one because he is smart. Point at Megrick.
And you
These are
see
like-
kind of this look of disgust on his. Right. And then he vanishes.
I go out and
Fry crouches down and screams into his arms. Like,
and I go up and hug him.
don't touch me right now.
Yeah, right. I know. You're pissed. I get it. I understand. We're in a very public place. And apparently, we got work to do. see this. Get your parents back.
Arai just stands up and kind of glares at Stegwick and just says, "Go."
Go with us.
I need a minute. But yes.
Okay. We're not leaving you behind. We're gonna walk up. We're gonna stay over here. Looks you dead in the eyes. We're not ditching you.
We promise.
I'll ditch myself. And after a couple minutes, Arai like takes a deep breath and just walks up to where they are. Like just obviously very pissed off, but very cold and very much that don't talk to me, don't touch me, just don't.
I'm not only avoiding your touch. Come on.
Ari nods, but she's crying on his behalf.
And Arai ignores her.
Smaker just pats Owie on the side. Come on, kid. Let's go.
As you all return to the dry dock, you guys are able to get back to your rooms, get a night's rest. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these on my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. Otherwise, again, it's going to be all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.